Hello everyone and happy Monday. Welcome to Pure Plant Exclusive. My name is June and I am your host. And if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm not a doctor or a dietitian. I am just a girl who has lost over 60 pounds on a plant exclusive diet, and I'm just here to share with you some of my experiences and some of my acquired knowledge and wisdom from what I've gained over the past 8 or 9 months, and also just to kind of share ideas and thoughts with you. And I encourage your questions for me. I encourage interaction. This is what I want to do, this to help other people, just regular everyday people like me who are interested in regaining some sense of who they are, as well as their health, as well as your if you want to lose weight, then, and you just want to do it in a really healthy, natural, and a way that you can incorporate as much nutrition as you can into your body and yourself, well, please join me. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to share some information that I've gained and knowledge that I've gained. So I am taking a plant-based nutrition course with Dr. T. Colling Campbell Center. And so I am almost about halfway through the course right now, and I'm been learning so much, and I'm really excited to share with you guys a lot of what I learned through that as well. Taken a little bit of a break this past week and a half, because I felt the need to really reset and re-energize, and now I'm ready to come back to you guys and share more knowledge and information with you. So let's get started. Today I want to talk about some of the best tips that I've learned for starting a plant-based diet. I know I started a little bit in my last video regarding mindset, and really that is the most important first step, I think, is the factor of mindset. You have to really think about, is this what I want to do? Am I really motivated to do this, and kind of go from there. Now, I can't emphasize it enough. If you're not ready for it, and the mindset's not there, and you're not prepared for it, you're probably going to fall off, and we don't want that. I have done that once in the past myself, where I, just told myself, I'll just try this, I can still have this or that if I want to. I mean, if I'm eating mostly plant foods all the time, and once in a while I have this or that, and basically I was kind of setting myself up for failure, which happened after a while, and I went back to eating all the things again, and really just regaining all the weight and then some, and we all know how that goes. But anyway, going forward, I did have to go all in. I think I might have mentioned that before, but I didn't really know exactly how or what that looked like. So I started by just trying to make plant-based foods I already enjoyed, or plant-based versions of foods I already enjoyed, like veggie pizzas and stir-fried vegetables, and things that I would normally add meat into, but I'd leave the meat out, and I'd add tofu or tempeh into, and things like that. And gradually just kept going like that, learning new methods of cooking things, and just trying different variations with different spice mixtures and different I just, I'd look it up on the internet, a good source of protein or whatever it was that I wanted to incorporate with my meal. Then I would look something up and I'd say, okay, I have that. Oh, maybe I don't have this, so I'll use this instead. And that way I sort of just kind of played around with my meals and what I was eating and found some things that worked well for me. I think that in the beginning, I probably didn't have a huge variety, and I really honestly don't now have a really huge variety of certain things that I eat all the time, to be honest. I am a creature of habit, and I do try new things. Don't get me wrong. I do try new things and varieties of different things, but I generally kind of stick to a lot of the same things that I've had before because they just, I can make them. I know they're good. We've had them before. We're going to enjoy them again. They're healthy and they incorporate everything I want to incorporate into, that meal. And so sometimes I will just kind of be a little bit repetitive. Not always. Sometimes I'll, go out of my comfort zone and I'll just try completely different things. But yeah, so that's just how I do it. I just kind of play it by ear. I go by the seat of my pants. I'm not a strict anything person, except, of course, now I absolutely do not include any meat, dairy, or anything that comes from a being with eyes, nose, a mouth, just plant-based things. So one of the questions I notice I'm being asked is, what do you eat instead of this? Or what do you eat instead of that? Which all I can say to that, honestly, and please keep sending those questions, by the way, because there's always an answer, and if I can help, and if I can find the answer, I would love to share it with you. But please don't misunderstand. Plant-based alternative foods and replacements are probably not going to always meet up to your expectations. They're not going to taste like the original sour cream. They're not going to, there are some very dedicated companies and things like that who are working toward, manufacturing things that really taste a lot like cheese or whatever, and that's great. We still want to be kind of careful about what we're putting into our body as far as how processed it is, how close to the original plant it is, and things like that, and just make wise decisions based on that. So when I recommend replacements, it's probably not always going to taste or have the same texture or mouthfeel as certain foods that you're used to. I did this for my health. So going in, although in the beginning I was a little disappointed by the fact that there were some foods and alternative things that I was using in my meals or in my plant-based cheeses and things like that. They weren't the same, and they didn't taste the same. They tasted okay. They had their own flavor. I don't really use those so much anymore. I haven't purchased any probably in like a few months, probably at least 2 months or more. So sometimes you're just going to have to accept that there's probably maybe not a really good replacement for a certain type of food or confection or cream, salad dressing, or something that you like, and you'll want to explore other things. There are always, always, always good alternatives to pretty much everything. So that's one thing, is I think people need to keep like a really realistic expectation of what a plant exclusive lifestyle is. Yeah, because, I mean, of course, in the beginning too, I struggled, especially in the first month or so, because my taste buds were so used to eating foods that were high in oil, they were high in salt, they were high in sugar, they were heavily salted and sweetened, and had these really wonderful intense flavors and things like that. They make those products that way to get you hooked and to get you addicted. You don't want to change. You don't want to give those up. They make you feel good because they taste good. They stimulate the endorphins in your brain, and you want to keep going back to those. We kind of have to learn to overcome that desire to want. It's like an alcoholic giving up alcohol, or a cigarette smoker giving up their cigarettes. You're going to have some cravings, most likely. I mean, hopefully you don't. Maybe you won't. Everyone's different. But most likely you're going to have some cravings. You're going to think about that cheeseburger or that fried chicken or that pizza, dripping with the cheddar cheese and mozzarella cheese or whatever you put on it. And that is just a fact. It's going to happen, most likely. So really, you just have to wrap your head around the fact that you are going to need to kind of try different things and explore different recipes and things like that, so that you have something to kind of partly distract your mind from those cravings and those thoughts of wishing you had the cheeseburger or the pizza or whatever. But yeah, so that's one thing that I really had to learn, and I never cheated. Like, I never said like, okay, it's all right, I'll just go have this one cheeseburger or whatever. I just didn't. I just decided like, it's not worth it to me. I know it's not going to benefit my health. It's not going to help me with my weight loss. It's going to actually make my emotional state worse, because then I will feel bad after I consume that food or that product, and I'll kind of feel like I'm back at square one, or like the previous time I tried, I would just get really off track and just be preoccupied with thinking about those things and just go back to eating those kinds of foods again. And I definitely knew I didn't want to go there. So yeah, when I talk about mindset, I'm really, like, I don't want to make people overthink this, but I think there's not enough emphasis put on that. Like, people are always like, I don't know. Anyway, that's just my perspective of it, because I've really worked hard to overcome those, those cravings and the things that sort of try to distract you from your end goal of getting and being healthy, because it's everywhere around us. We can't avoid food. We can't avoid conversations surrounding food. It's almost one of those things that people talk about almost on a daily basis. And when I was going through my whole process, I would have a lot of clients come into the business where I worked, and they would be commenting on how good I looked, and how, asking me if I had lost weight, and saying, oh, you look so great, you look so much younger, you're vibrant, you're glowing, and what are you doing, right? So then it would lead into the discussion about because that was really the main reason that I was looking better and losing weight. So yeah, I would get into those conversations on a relatively frequent basis. And so, what's going to probably happen, what happened in my case a lot of times, was people saying, oh man, I wish I could do that. I don't think I'd have that kind of dedication. I don't think I could, I don't think I could stop eating meat. I don't think I could stop eating dairy, and if you do have that mindset, you probably aren't ready, you probably can't, and you probably won't. I still like to tell people that you can, totally can. I believe you can. I thought that way too. I really enjoyed meat and some dairy. Not all of it liked me back, but yeah. And I really didn't think I could. Like, I would keep having these thoughts about, especially fried chicken. There's only certain places too that can make fried chicken really, really well. So, yeah, that was my big downfall, was fried chicken. But it's definitely a conversation that you'll get into with different people, and when you tell them that you're eating plant-based, they will kind of look at you sometimes and they'll be like, "Oh, so what do you eat?" you know? And at first I would always be kind of stumped by that, because I was still learning, and I was still learning how to incorporate more and more variety of things into my diet, and I really wasn't ready to speak on it yet. I knew it was benefiting me. I knew that I wanted to continue doing it, and I also knew, just from what I had read and studied and learned from different documentaries that I had watched and everything, that it was definitely the best diet for me and for all humans. But to kind of share that with someone that way, it's like, a lot of times they will think, "Oh, so what you're saying is I'm not eating healthy, I'm not eating the right way or the right foods," or things like that. So you have to learn to navigate that world of, talking to people about it, if you end up in conversations about it and everything. So I would always be just very cautious about how I would respond and things like that, because I'm not here to judge anyone. If you like meat and that's your thing, if you're, I'm not here to say you shouldn't do that or you're wrong, or, everyone has their own free will. Thankfully, we were given free will, and we can choose whatever we want. But, I would sort of just sometimes just point out some of the health risks associated with eating those types of products. I don't even call them foods anymore. I don't call meat and dairy foods anymore, because to me, they're not really foods. They are, without sounding terribly crass, they are dead body parts, and they are, dairy is a very produced form of other animal mammary secretions. So I don't even look at them now as food or something that we should put into our bodies. To me, they are products. So that's why you'll frequently hear me refer to those things as products. So anyway, what I would challenge you to do is to do a little bit of searching, either online, look for articles, or perhaps videos regarding mindset, and changing your mindset to adapt to a certain lifestyle, and get a little bit of a kind of a feel for what you need to do in order to really get your mindset where it needs to be. Because, like I said, I don't want to tell people this is easy. I don't want to tell them that it's, everything's going to come easy to you if only you do it this way or that way. Everyone is totally different. Everyone appreciates things and learns things in a different way, and whatever works for you is really what you should do. What I did was perfect for me, because now it's my life. It's my passion, in fact. So whatever you kind of want to do for you, I encourage that to the fullest extent. One other little thing I'll tell you is that I purchased an Instant Pot. I know these have been around for years, but I had been thinking of purchasing one for a very long time, but I never bit the bullet. I didn't want to spend the money and things like that and then end up getting it and not using it. But I found one that was only used once on Facebook Marketplace, and people do this all the time. If you don't have one and you're looking for one, Facebook Marketplace is the way to go. The one that I purchased was the Instant Pot IP Lux, and someone had purchased it, used it once. They said it wasn't for them. They put it up for sale. It still had one of the tags on the unit, and they sold it to me for $55. It was regular $215 plus taxes on Amazon. So I tried oat groats in it and made oat groats yesterday for my husband and I, and they turned out really great. And I will be sharing some of my tips and tricks as I learn and as I go, experimenting with recipes in the Instant Pot. And again, in one of my upcoming videos, I will be taking you into my kitchen and sharing with you the things that I keep on hand for cooking and for snacking and things like that. So that'll be something to look forward to. And now that I am back and I am rested and reset, I'll have quite a few more videos coming up over the next few weeks to share with you. I'm hoping to at least put out 3 a week to start, and we'll go from there and see if it catches on. If you have heard anything in my videos that is really helpful to you, that you find you can take away, please like the video, and if you know anyone that you feel could benefit from it, please share it with them as well. And again, continue please to interact with me, send me questions, and if you have the time to do it, if you have time to look up, some of the things like I recommended regarding mindset, if you'd like to share those with me, you can share them in the YouTube comments, or you can share them on the Facebook page, or email me if you want to, pureplantexclusive@gmail.com, or Instagram. And we'll kind of talk through these things. I would love to know what you guys find and learn, because I'm always learning too.